Hi, I'm Peter Davis from Panache Software. I'm a software developer with over 20 years experience building customization and integrations for Unit4 ERP across all sectors. Using the data query and manipulation language GraphQL, I've built erpQL to be a query language for your ERP system. It's designed to work with the tools you already use and remove the complexity of interacting with a multitude of API endpoints and web services. It allows you to get the real-time data you need when you need it. So the initial release of erpQL went live a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to provide you with an update on some exciting new features already on their way to you. erpQL in its current form was not the end goal. I've built an advanced query language for ERP to provide a foundation for future functionality that will allow you to interact with your system and your data in ways you probably thought weren't possible. Now, currently erpQL supports erpCR or ERP7, and the ERPX version should be available soon. But today we're going to look at some functionality coming as an open beta to the product that during this beta phase will be free to all users with an active subscription. And that's erpQL AI. Now, using erpQL as the foundation, I wanted to bring AI to your data in the simplest way possible. And like the rest of erpQL, it requires no setup within the Unit4 application itself. If you have the REST APIs published and an ERP user set up with access to those APIs, then erpQL AI is ready to go. So what do we provide? Well, erpQL exposes AI chat via a GraphQL mutation. This allows you to interact with it by sending the same GraphQL HTTP requests that you would use to query your data. Now, being fully integrated into erpQL means that you can build this AI functionality into your own tools how you want, maybe using it behind the scenes, or exposing it as a chat window within an intranet site, or even via a Unit4 App Studio screen. So let's look at an example chat window that I've built into the erpQL user account area and which will be available to you on release so that you'll be able to easily test the functionality. So what can we do? Well, first up, GraphQL, the query language that erpQL uses, is probably pretty new to most people. So how about we ask it to generate a GraphQL query for us? So here we're looking to find all suppliers of group ID 1 that are based in the UK. The AI has access to the schema itself, so it can look at your prompt and find the appropriate endpoints to call. And here we go. Notice that I asked for UK suppliers, but it correctly used GB in the lookup. Shall we test that this works? So let's copy the query, drop it into erpQL, and there you go, a list of the suppliers I asked for. This gives you a great way to learn how to generate the queries if you're new to GraphQL. But we can do better than that, right? If erpQL AI can generate queries for us, then why can't we just use it to query our own data? So let's give it a go with this. Now, this is a much more complex thing we're asking it to do. We're asking for it to create a table that contains the project ID, the project name, the date to, as well as a list of work orders for all the projects of type DO. And we're saying whether date of the project or the date to of the project isn't greater than the 7th of the 11th this year, and whether the project has a C1 cost center with a relation value of 410. Quite a lot of querying. So what happens if we run this? Well, the erpQL AI is going to, all in real time, examine the erpQL schema to determine what calls it needs to make to get the data, and in this case it's likely going to call the project endpoint to retrieve the projects, and then for each project it gets call the work order endpoint to get the associated information. And there you go. All in real time, it generates us our table with the data we requested. We haven't had to copy anything to a data warehouse or configure login information somewhere. Instead, erpQL AI is able to use the power of erpQL to dynamically query the data in our own system in real time to get the information you need. I don't need to know anything about GraphQL or what Unit4 REST APIs to call. I just ask for what I want and I get the data back. This gives you a hugely powerful, simple to use way of working with your Unit4 ERP data. Now, I mentioned earlier about integrating this into your own portals or similar. Let's see how you do this via the endpoint. Right, we're simply going to make a call to the chat prompt mutation within erpQL and provide our prompt. So let's try that. Let's copy this in. And then we construct our erpQL mutation and provide the prompt. So in this case, let's go asking for the data that we wanted from our first query we ran, a list of supplier information. Paste that in, and now this request is going to take a little while to retrieve because it pulls back a lot of suppliers and then has to run through them to generate a little table. So it takes a little more time to run through and format the result. But here you go. We get our result back and it looks like it's chosen to format that data table using Markdown. It's that easy. A first of its kind AI real-time querying of your Unit4 ERP data. Now, as mentioned previously, this is coming hopefully before the end of November as an open beta, free to all users that have an active subscription to erpQL, and will also be available in the ERPX version of erpQL when that launches this year. If you've got any queries regarding this, or how Panache software can bring cutting-edge integrations and functionality to your ERP system, don't hesitate to get in contact. Thanks for watching.